Well, today I'm with my friend Yoni Leitersdorf. He's the CEO and co-founder of Solid AI, and Solid AI just raised their seed round of 20 million. So congrats on that.
Thank you. Thank you, Walter.
Yep. And Solid is an AI-powered data intelligence platform that automatically discovers, documents, and builds business-aware semantic models from your company's existing data, queries, and tools. So Yoni, it's great to have you today.
Thank you for having me, Walter. It's great to be here.
Well, let's get into the problem that you guys are solving. What do you see out there in the market? I've heard you say that, data teams are slowed down by manual work. What's the big pain point that you're addressing?
Yep. And we hear this a lot. So basically, if you think about it, in big companies today, there's a huge amount of data. They're sitting on mounds and mounds of data in their data warehouse and databases and so forth. And they want to leverage that data using AI. Some initiatives are around what you would call a chat with your data, which is just basically being able to chat with it. But the more interesting ones are around AI agents that leverage the data. So, for example, imagine that you're a bank and your bank has commercial clients that you're lending, that you're managing their money for, et cetera. And you have account managers that are working with these clients. Now, imagine that you want to help your account managers find opportunities to sell more products, more services to their clients, to their commercial clients. Now, today, a lot of times, what you do is you have like this really nice dashboard that you have your account managers look at every Monday morning, and they try to think of what else can they sell to their clients. But imagine that you have an AI agent that looks at the data, your bank's data that is sitting in these data warehouses. And based on certain logic that you put into it, it identifies opportunities for the sale of more products and services to these commercial clients. And not only just identifies these opportunities, it actually opens opportunities in the CRM, in Salesforce, and HubSpot, and whatever CRM you use. So now what happens is instead of your account managers just looking at graphs and trying to figure out what they can sell, every Monday morning, this agent runs and actually opens opportunities in the CRM
Hmm.
for your account managers to pursue. Now, that sounds amazing, and a lot of companies want to do that. The challenge is that the AI agent that you're going to build needs to understand your data. And if your data is big and messy and there are a lot of duplications, et cetera, the AI agent is lost. So it becomes almost impossible to just connect it to the data and let it work. And that creates a new challenge. So now somebody needs to explain to the AI agent how the data actually works, what's the structure, what to use, for the purpose of creating these opportunities, what should it look at? That's called semantics. That's called context. And we basically built a platform that can generate semantics and context automatically. The alternative is to do it manually, which will take months and months per agent. But doing it automatically is much, much, much faster.
Got it. Okay, cool. So who would be an ideal prospect for you? What's the ideal customer profile?
Yep. So the ideal customer profile, the ICP, are basically larger enterprises. So they're usually 5,000 employees and above, give or take. They're usually in industries where there's a lot of data that they're sitting on. So they could be banking, financial, healthcare, retail, and industries where there's a lot of potential for growing the business based on things like the example that I just gave. Also, they need to have AI initiatives. They need to have the desire to leverage AI to achieve what they're looking to achieve. The more their data is spread, the more messy it is, the better, I think, from our perspective, because it makes it harder to create agents without a solution like ours.
Got it. And if they don't use a solution like yours, they're going to do everything manually. And what are the orders of magnitude as far as like gains? I saw some of your numbers like 10 times faster AI deployment, 90% less manual work. What are some of the other metrics that you're tracking?
Yeah, I mean, so think about it. So at this point, we all know that Cursor, Claude Code, et cetera, can write code 10 times faster than a normal human. Like the guy who invented Claude Code was recently on a podcast and said he pushes roughly 100x more improvements than a normal software developer, like 100x. And AI is the thing that can bring it in. So first of all, there's the acceleration of this process. Also, there's the aspect of accuracy, because if a human is building the semantic modeling in context, then the human needs to test it. And we humans, we're not great at testing, especially manual stuff, right? So manual QA has never been a great success. And so what happens is we build something, but we don't test it as thoroughly as the AI or a platform like ours would test. So accuracy is the second challenge. And we see situations where we come in, the accuracy of whatever they did manually is like 10, 15%, whereas what we produce is 90, 95% accurate at least. So that's a major thing. And then the third thing is coverage. Because it takes so long to build these semantic models, what ends up happening is that you have much less coverage. Instead of covering your full data warehouse or all of the data sets that you're interested in, you end up covering a much smaller percentage, maybe 3 to 5%, because it takes so much to do it manually. So it's speed, it's accuracy, and it's coverage, how much of the data gets covered.
Nice. Can you think of a customer example that you want to share where there's a major gain that was just super exciting for you?
Yeah, so one such customer is SurveyMonkey. We actually have a case study with
Okay.
SurveyMonkey on our website. The viewers can pull it down. Basically, SurveyMonkey is one of the more advanced organizations in this way, where they've been thinking about AI for a while. Their VP of data, Minal, has been entrenched in this. When ChatGPT came out, she went straight to it, and then she started thinking about, okay, what can this mean for my business and for the broader organization? And so they've been really at the bleeding edge of this stuff. And from their perspective, it's the building of agents on top of the data. So they have data sitting in their data warehouse, some of it more organized, some of it a bit less. And they were looking for a way to make that data in the context around that data a lot more accessible to their agents. And so they've selected Solid to do that. And the case study goes through the numbers, but there are a lot of the numbers we just talked about of essentially being able to deliver much, much, much faster, much greater coverage, much higher accuracy.
Awesome. Well, what's the best way to get in touch and learn more?
So I'm on LinkedIn, Yoni Leitersdorf. So you can obviously hit me up on LinkedIn, but the easiest way is go to our website, getsolid.ai. So GETSOLID.ai. We have a contact form there. We have a couple places you can click and leave your details. Leave your details. We get on a quick call, 30-minute call. We understand what you need. We talk about what we can bring, whether we can help you accelerate and get to where you want to get to, or if not, at least we can point you in the right direction. And yeah, we love working with anyone who's currently working on this because we're all on the bleeding edge. We're
Mhm.
all learning at the same time. It's like this global experiment that we're all taking part of, and it's a lot of fun. So yeah,
Cool.
we always welcome conversation.
Awesome. Well, Yoni, this has been really cool learning about Solid and your awesome solution. So I look forward to watching the growth and success of your company.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Walter.
All right. Thanks, Yoni.